good. I literally have not talked to y'all in so long. Like, I feel so weird. Like, what? I feel like I haven't just sat down and like done like an actual like life update, and I feel like normally I do it when like big events happen, but I figure why not do it now? Not that anything big has happened. I mean, honestly, kind of, but like we're not gonna get into the details of life. But things have just been crazy, and I honestly like really just wanted to come on here and chat with you guys. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I asked you guys to ask me questions or like anything that you guys want to know. First question that I got is, what is my biggest goal in life right now? And this is a really good question because I feel like my goals kind of like shift, and I feel like 2023 my goals were on everything but God, and like that definitely has reshifted like the past couple days. I feel like I was so focused on numbers, and I was so focused on everything else in my life, and like, not even gonna lie to you guys, like I was so focused on like relationships and like things that in the long run didn't matter, that like my focus on God was kind of like on the side. And so like my number one goal in life right now is just doing what God has called me to do, and like just really living out his purpose that he has for me, whatever that may look like. It's kind of like a scary road, you know, not knowing what's gonna happen and like whatever, but truly and honestly just doing whatever he's calling me to do. And I guess this is like a question where like you want more of like a clear answer, but like really just spreading the gospel and like focusing on God, and like just strengthening my relationship with him before I can even think of jumping into another relationship. And yeah, I just that, and also like just really diving in back into my channel and falling in love with YouTube, because I feel like ever since I've started YouTube, it's always been other factors in my life, like just personally, that has made my focus away from YouTube. And so I feel like now that I don't have any factors like that in my life, like I should really just be like focusing on spreading the gospel through YouTube, which is the reason why I'm doing this whole thing. Like, I'm not doing this for my gain. I kind of stopped looking at numeric goals because I felt like every year I was putting numeric goals on my goal list, and I literally lost like my passion of actually like doing YouTube. And YouTube is a huge passion of mine, so it's just kind of like there's no point in putting numbers on it when I love doing what I'm doing. And like my friend literally helped me so much. Like, she's such a tough cookie. Like, she really just says it how it is, and she was just kind of like, Lexi, like, you just need to keep pushing. She was like, you haven't even been on long enough for you to give up. And I was like, you know what? Love you, babe. I needed that, because it does get hard sometimes. Like, yes, although like I'm spreading the gospel like through this platform, and like this is something that I know God has given me a passion for, I still would love like the gain of like subscribers, or like, you know, making money off of this, or like making an actual living off of this. So it's hard when those things aren't happening. But my friend is always just encouraging me, and she's like, Lexi, just keep going, like just keep going. And at the end of the day, that's something that I do have to remember, is like, I love doing this. Like, this is genuinely my passion. I love making videos. I love coming on here and chatting with you guys. So it's like, regardless of if I'm having like a ton of followers or not, like this gives me something to do. Like, I'm bored and I'm like, hey, like let me film a video. And I feel like some of these videos may help you guys. Like, even if it only helps like 50 people, like that's 50 people that I've helped out, versus like me looking at it in a negative aspect. So that's like my biggest goal right now. Next question that I got was, am I in a relationship? To answer your question, I am not. I have no desire to be in one, and yeah, I'm not gonna give like a whole full spiel on it. I'm not talking to anybody. I don't long to talk to anybody. Like, I'm actually kind of like disgusted with like the thought of dating, and not in like a way where like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to be single forever. Like, I know that's not me. Like, I'm a lover girl at heart, but I think that I was so focused on waiting for my person than like just being content with where I am. And so I feel like these past like couple months, like my season of singleness hasn't really been me embracing where God has me, but like I was focusing more on like who I'm gonna find. And also finding, like, you getting married is not a guarantee. Like, I don't think God guaranteed that, and if he did, please like correct me in the comments. But I think that a big misconception, like just in life, is that we're guaranteed these things that everybody's doing. And like, it sucks to think that. And like, do I think that God is gonna have me be single forever? I don't know. I can't speak on that. And like, I I know you guys probably like, Lexi, you're being a little extreme, but I just genuinely think that like, you know, we even have like people, and I don't know, it just bothers me, and like my mind can change on this, but like when they're like, pray for your future husband and like all these things, and they're so focused on marriage and they're not really focused on like being the best woman of God that they can be on their own. Like they're so focused on being a woman of God for their future husband, but it's like, no, you need to be a woman of God for God, not just for another entity. So I don't know, I just kind of lost like my whole like desire, and it's not a bad thing. It's not something that was like a bitter like, oh, like I'm not gonna date anybody. Like, no, I just have had like revelation this past week, and I've, you know, gone through different things that again I won't share, but I've just gone through different things last week that like God really just showed me like, Lexi, like this is your breakthrough, like this is the clarity that you needed, and like now it's time for you to really focus on me, and like I'm really just trying to focus on what he has for me and not other things. And then also just in general, like on like a level-headed aspect, like I just feel like relationships are a lot of work, and I feel like I'm not in the right headspace to be in a relationship. I'm just not. I feel like I've spent like all of my, I mean, I'm still a teenager, I'm 18, but I feel like I've spent all of my teenage years like being in a relationship. So to think of me spending more time in a relationship and like not time on my own, like I feel like these are the years that like, I'm not saying that you should be single. If God's calling you to be in a relationship, then like go for it. But I feel like these are years that like I feel like God is calling me to be on my own and to really just figure out like what I love and my passions and whatnot. And yeah, so I don't really have a desire to be in a relationship. That could change. I was a hopeless romantic, not so much anymore. And I know I just had this like whole revelation thing like last week, but God has really been working in me, and the desire is gone. So the next question is, how is your relationship with God? So my relationship with God has been honestly like rocky. I feel like my relationship with God was always dependent on another person, which is why I need to be alone. And I feel like I was so focused on having a relationship with God because I was in a relationship in general versus having a relationship with God because I need a relationship with God. So I feel like it's really just, it's changed a lot, and I'm in a really good space right now. Like I have really just been putting him first, and like just having friends that encourage me to run back to God, and like who are honest with me. Like my friends right now in my life are so honest with me, and they're like, Lexi, like this is an issue that you need to like take up with God. And like I've just had such good friends that will tell me the truth and not let me do dumb things, and like be like, hey, like I care about you, like, you know, like let's pray about this, but like don't, you know, go to this or don't do this. And so my relationship with God is honestly strengthened a lot, and I think a lot of the times it gets stronger when you go through things, and I'm just in a really good space. Like I don't know, I don't know what it is. Like I just have been at peace ever since I went to this church service last week, and like I've just been really enjoying life and enjoying like where God has taken me and like the people that he's put in my life, and like yeah, so I'm really excited for life. I'm really excited for this like chapter of my life. So the next question is, how is college going / like what are your plans? So I go to Georgia State. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm a computer information systems major. A lot of people are like, what the heck is that? It's computer science without a bunch of like, without the math. Like it's like an easier version of computer science. Still difficult, but easier. Lots of coding, programming, whatnot. I love my major, and a lot of people are like, why wouldn't you do marketing as your major? But I already know how to market, and so I just feel like learning a new skill is like so profitable. And like I wanted to go to college, and like if I'm gonna pay for anything, I'm gonna want to pay for something that I don't know how to do, which is code, versus like marketing. Like I know exactly how to market. Like, you know what I'm saying, every single job I've had has been in marketing. Like I've worked for top companies in marketing. Like I've worked for Carnival Cruise Lines, I've worked with Alibaba. Like I've worked on these big projects that I'm just like so grateful that God has allowed me to like have these experiences at such a young age. Like I'm literally 18, so it's like really weird saying like all of these things, but I love my major and that was a lot. But to say how college is going, honestly, it's like this semester's a little difficult. My programming class has been kicking my butt. It's just coding, guys. So I'm really just learning how to code, and it's literally learning a whole new language. They're like doing the grass outside. And I think that something that I was like holding on to so like dearly was like not being content with like my college and like kind of hating college. And I realized something, and I was like, Lexi, like it's okay. Like you can enjoy Georgia State. Like you don't have to stick with this one. Like I feel like since I already had a negative mindset on Georgia State when I first went, like my first year, I think like subconsciously like I felt like I had to stick with that like opinion. And so I never really put in the effort to change my opinion on Georgia State. And while yes, every school has its like shortcomings and its downfalls, like I love the city, I love Atlanta, and I definitely want to get on campus more. Like it sucks that it's literally the end of the semester and I'm like realizing that, but like I don't know, I really want to like give it another try, especially because this is supposed to be my last year. Like this upcoming school year is supposed to be my last year, so it's just like I want to give Georgia State another try. I want to actually like put in effort, like go on campus and like actually enjoy what I'm paying for. Like my tuition is going towards the campus, like it's going towards like the things that are happening. So I feel like I should probably enjoy that and like recognize that like I am still a kid, because I feel like beforehand I was just stuck in my apartment. Like literally it almost felt like a jail where like I was in my apartment so much, and when I went on campus, or like when I did, I was like, oh wow, like I actually kind of like this. And like I felt guilty for liking it, because I was like, dang, like you had such a big opinion, like you really hated it, like you need to keep that opinion. But it's like, no, like I can definitely change my opinion. So yeah, I want to like try more and like try harder and like go on campus and see how I like it. My camera is like, it gets dark when it's like overheating, and I've only been recording for like 15 minutes. Anyway, upcoming trips, I literally don't know. And the reason why I don't know is because I'm in the process of applying for jobs, and that's another thing that I'll get to in a second. But I just don't know. I can't really plan anything if I don't know if I'll be like working or not. Like I can, but like I don't know. But I am going to my cousin's graduation. She goes to Georgetown, so I'll be going to DC in May. Next month, I'm supposed to go to Miami with my sister. I might also be going back to St. Thomas in May. And for my birthday, I think I'm gonna go to Disney with my friends. That's honestly like what I could think of. Like I can't really think of anything else that I'm doing, but definitely do want to start doing a lot of solo trips again and like start traveling again. I used to travel, I'm not even kidding you guys, like all the time, like pre-COVID. Like my family, like that's their, like I feel like everybody has their thing that they spend their money on. Like, you know, some people it's like they spend their money on clothes, like that's where they really spend a lot of money on it, or like designer bags. Like my parents' version of designer bag was trips. Like when I tell you guys, my parents, like I have literally like traveled like the world, and I'm literally 18. It's like really crazy. So that's like one of my main goals, as well as like whenever I do get my money, like I literally want to spoil my parents, because I've been to so many places, and it's like so weird because like I sit there and I'm like, dang, like Lexi, like you're really privileged. Like not a lot of people have gotten to do these things, and I'm just so blessed that my like God has literally blessed me with like the best parents in the world. Like I don't want to get emotional, but my parents would literally do anything for me, and like it's crazy. So I absolutely love them. And we used to travel a ton, and then COVID hit, and then I went off to college, so like we still travel, but like it's not like to the extent that we used to. Like we'd be going out of the country like all the time, you know, and I miss that aspect of life. And so I definitely do want to start traveling more. I just, again, I don't know. So but those are the trips that I think are happening. Like I know for sure my cousin's graduation, next month Miami with my sister, if I don't get this job that I am currently and like the application running for. Prayers, because I really do want the job. The next question is, do you plan on staying in your apartment or do you plan on moving? So I like moving, and a lot of people are gonna be like, Lexi, what's wrong with you? Like, moving is terrible, and it is. But I like having a new space because I feel like each apartment like represents a new chapter of my life. I don't know. This is my second apartment. But I don't know. I really do want to move. The apartment that I toured in Buckhead is absolutely my dream apartment. I'm praying that I'm able to like get it. Like, I just really want it. And it's like my dream apartment. Like, that's my dream place. And also, since it will be my last year praying in college, I would really want to like go big or go home, and like that apartment is just like literally insane. It's like gorgeous. Like, the kitchen was just amazing, like the amenities, like I just absolutely loved it. So that's definitely an apartment that I want to get. But yeah, so that's that. I probably will be moving. My lease doesn't end here until September. So I probably will move, like obviously when my lease ends, but I'm thinking I kind of want to get my apartment like maybe 2 weeks early and then move in like a little early. The issue is like my birthday is mid-August and my lease ends at the beginning of September. So I'm just like, I don't know, because it's like also gonna affect my trip, and like I just have to figure all of that stuff out. So it's a huge thing, but like I really do like want to move for like one last time while I finish up my degree, and then like wherever God tells me to move is like where I'm gonna move. If he wants me to move, he might want me to stay in LA. I mean, not LA coming out of my mouth, but he might want me to stay in Atlanta. Truly, my heart, I would love to move to LA. And a lot of people say that LA is dark. Like, why would you want to move there as a Christian? But that's the point. Like, I hate when people say that, because I'm like, the point of spreading the gospel is not to just spread it to the parts where there's light. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I see that there's a burning bush, right? And then I also see that, and then I see that there's people that are doing fine, I'm gonna go to the burning bush, like to save the people really quick, you know? And LA is the burning bush, you know? And I have just always felt drawn to go to LA, so that's something I still have to pray on, obviously. But moving there would be absolutely insane. I've always felt like I should, I've always felt like I'm called to, but I just feel like, of course, like it's a dark place, like whatever, but that's the point of spreading the gospel. Like, there's no point in just spreading it where there's already light, you know? So, yeah, that's that. Bob, what are you doing? So I've actually been unemployed since January, and it's felt a little weird. I like having my own money. So like, while yes, I am so grateful that my parents are amazing, I like having my own money. I like being flexible with my money. I like a lot of things, you know? Like, and I also like having structure to my day. Since all my classes are online except one, I feel like I wake up and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, I don't have the drive to do things on my own accord. Like, that's why procrastination is like such a big thing for me, because it's like, okay, I'll wait till it's due. And since my classes are online, it's like everything's due at like the end of the week, like, you know? And I feel like the only thing that really helped me have structure in my life was having a job. And not only that, but like I'm getting paid. So I was literally like, I want to go back to work. My parents are like, are you sure? Like, are you sure? It's okay if you don't want to work. And I'm like, I get that. But at the exact same time, like I miss that aspect of like working. And that's crazy to say, but like I do. I like working, okay? If y'all are watching this, like comment down below, whether that be an emoji or whatever. I love to see who's watching. It also helps my algorithm. So yeah, but I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.